What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Comic Breakdown. With this video, we are jumping into Carnage, issue number 4. This story by Ram V has been absolutely phenomenal. Carnage is on the loose, no longer needing a host. He has found himself a disciple, a serial killer by the name of Kenneth Neely, and that is because Carnage is going for godlike status, taking the superpowers from individuals like Hydro Man and the Spot. Those are just his first two victims. Now he has his eyes set on gods. Meanwhile, we have Detective Jonathan Shade. He has been trying to hunt down Kenneth Neely this entire time, learning that he is greatly out of his league when he is face to face with Carnage. But what happens is the Codex, the one belonging to Cletus, it becomes one with Detective Jonathan Shade. Cletus has become the symbiote, and now him and Shade together, they are gonna hunt down Carnage and Kenneth Neely. Make sure that you guys have subscribed to the channel, you've liked this video, and with that being said, let's dive into this breakdown. Alright gang, so we last left off, and we had Carnage saying that he was going to go kill gods, using the ability of Spot. This is exactly why Carnage took his power, being able to locate the place that he wants to go. We see them careening through multiple dimensions, and Jonathan Shade, he is holding on to them for dear life, not knowing that this was going to happen. Kenneth kicking him off. This is where they find themselves floating in the void, falling through space and dimensions. He can feel the fabric of reality changing around him, thinking to himself, at least now it is finally all over. But the symbiote, it is keeping him alive, believing that he can't even die right. And so while they are stuck here out in space, Cletus says that they maybe should devise a plan on how to get ahead of Carnage, because he is pretty sure he knows exactly where they are gonna head next. Now that picks us up with Kenneth and Carnage. We find ourselves on the Dark World, one of the 10 realms, home to the Dark Elves. At one point in time, the Dark Elves, they were feared by everything in existence, but they are nothing more than a mere fragment of what they used to be. There once was a time of glory and greatness for these people, but that no longer exists. Yet still, they keep to their pride, they keep to their traditions. Every 16 cycles that pass, the wolf goddess, having chased the moon across the sky, she comes to the mortal world to have her litter. For one night, she suckles her pups in this cave, only to abandon them by morning. That way she can take up her endless chase once again. It is on that night, the 6 greatest warriors, wizards, witches, and woodsmen alike, they set forth to tame one of her pups. Only one shall return, and they must be carrying one child of the wolf goddess, or none come back at all. As our individuals stand up, they begin to volunteer, and with our 6, they head out into the wilderness. They head out to find the goddess's children. Unfortunately for them, what they found in those woods was no wolf pup. What they found was nothing but carnage. With Carnage taking these elves out one by one, they are absolutely no match for him. Kenneth not understanding what Carnage is getting at, because this was supposed to be a journey to kill gods, and so far the only thing they have done is killed elves. And I shouldn't say they, because Kenneth hasn't done anything, but he says that this is all part of the plan, that they are here for the wolf pup. But if he wants to know more information on why they came, why this wolf pup, then he is going to have to earn his keep, saying that there is an elf with one hand and a crooked back. A serial killer like Kenneth should be able to handle this situation. That's what takes us somewhere between forever and eternity. Now, Cletus knows that once Carnage has finished stealing all of these abilities, all of these powers, any amount of resistance these so-called heroes put up, they're barely gonna have any kind of chance against him. That is, unless they stop him. Now, Jonathan, he asked, why me? Cletus letting him know that it's not a me or you, it is a us. Cletus, he knows Carnage. He knows how the symbiote thinks, because he thinks exactly like Cletus does. But the real Cletus Cassidy, he wouldn't pee on the world if it was burning. He would pour gas on it just so he can make himself some s'mores. But this isn't necessarily the real Cletus. This Cletus symbiote attached to Jonathan Shade's bleeding heart. There might just be a hero in this story after all. That is why it must be them to stop Carnage. This is why they must prepare themselves. And that is why powers greater than both of them are eventually going to reach out and pluck them from the void. And no sooner that he says this, we see a hand grab him out of the cosmos. And this is where we see the Spiderling, also referred to as the pattern maker. Not really having a lot of time, our pattern maker gets straight to the point. She has sensed the fates of entire worlds resting in his hands, saying that his hold is the very small end of a very long thread. And while she is still very new to all of this, she is beginning to understand how these threads, they all weave together. Ever since the web of life and destiny had been absolutely destroyed, her spider senses have gone haywire in this chamber. She is trying to put everything back together, but something goes really wrong. Every time she goes to start fixing everything, this is what she ends up with. What looks like Carnage. And while she doesn't understand what the heck is actually going on, she does understand the small threads. The fate of many are resting in the hands of Jonathan Shade. Picking back up with Kenneth, our serial killer, trying to hunt this dark elf. The only thing is, this elf has been hunting him, coming up from behind him and putting his knife to Kenneth's throat. He is trying to get any information about Carnage that he can. And that will be the end of this issue. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. You know, I am a huge fan of Ram V. I have said that time and time again. And I'm going to keep saying it. Ram V is an absolutely phenomenal writer, and issue number 4 of Carnage, it just proves how much true that is. When Carnage was saying that he was going to kill gods, I didn't really understand where he was headed, what he might be doing, but heading to the dark world, heading to the home of the dark elves, and coming here to kill the wolf goddess. Carnage really is trying to level himself up. He is trying to get to the next step. And then the introduction of Spiderling into this, that threw me for a whole loop. Did not expect that in the slightest. I have no idea what is coming next for Carnage, what is not coming next for this series, but I am 100% on board for it. And whoever thought Cletus Cassidy would be a hero? Let me know your thoughts, let me know your theories. If you would like to get caught up on everything going on with this series, be sure to check out the link in my description as well as the top of this video. It is going to get you completely caught up on everything going on with this series. If you would like to support the channel, you can always do so by hitting the super thanks button. This button will let you donate directly to the channel, and every little bit helps us out. If you can't do that, do me a favor, hit that sub button, hit that notification bell, make sure you like this video, and until the next breakdown.